Sorry about that. All right. Welcome in, Brad. Welcome in, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. Thank y'all for coming. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am streaming on a couple of platforms, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, welcome in. Tonight, the topic is seek to be worth knowing, not just to be well known. This show is about depth over attention. We're not here to chase clout. We're not here to be popular. Thank you for the icons. We're here to build character, value, and legacy. We're shifting your audience from, hey, everybody, look at me, to learn something from me. Welcome in, Big Mo. Grow with me. So, welcome to the Real Mojo Show. Here we keep it real and keep your mojo. Tonight we're talking about something different, something deeper. Are you chasing attention or are you becoming someone worth remembering? Let's get it started. All right. So, some of you were on last week's show, last week's Monday show, and I gave you assignment. So I want to know who all worked on your 3 goals from last week. Drop it in the chat if you worked on your 3 goals from last week. And if you worked on them, people are trying to come over. If you worked on them, what is one that you worked on? Anyone in the chat? Did y'all work on any of your goals? Because I gave y'all an assignment last week. I'm going to see if y'all kept to the assignment. Did anyone work on your goals? I don't see anybody responding. So, no. Yeah, Lisa said no. I hear you, girl. I can see. So, let me ask you this. If no one worked on their goals, what stopped you? What stopped you? Thank you for the likes, Tina. Now, I want you all to be honest. Be honest. This is a growth room. We're trying to grow, not a judgment room. What do you think stopped you from working on those goals from last week?
I just don't remember what assignment you gave us.
You're supposed to write down your goals and then work on them. Take a few minutes to work on them. Welcome in, Pretty Bull. Let me turn this off. It's blocking my other camera. Hello, hello. So, Pretty Bull, as you just came in, I am asking everyone, did you work on your goal from last week? Still at work, sorry. Okay. Did you work on any of your goals? Thank you, thank you. All right, well, we're gonna do this. I want you all to type in the chat, progress over perfection. Since we kind of forgot about our assignment and we're gonna talk about it again. I was asking you to write down 3 goals that you were gonna work on. But if you didn't, type in the chat, progress over perfection. Welcome in, Guy. And also, I want you to type in reset, because we're going to reset again. If y'all remember, last week's show was called Reset. We're going to reset if you didn't start yet. And it's okay, because we're going to do it. I'm going to give you the assignment again. Write down 3 goals and at least work on 10 minutes on each of your goals, each one of your goals. And we will talk about it again next week. Sloth. Okay. Yeah, sloth. Okay. So let me tell y'all something. Growth is not just going to happen when you feel like it. It happens when you show up even when you don't feel like it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we're gonna go. We're gonna keep going. Y'all didn't do y'all's assignment, but we're gonna keep going. All right. So we're gonna break it down. The difference between well known and being. Thank you for the unicorn. Well known and being worth knowing. So to be well known, that means maybe you had a viral video, a quick hit. Welcome in, Kim Cherry. You had a quick hit. It was hot today, not tomorrow. Maybe you are well known because you're loud. Everyone hears you. But they could care less about what you're saying, but they can hear you coming from a mile away before you even hit the doors. Good evening, good evening. Temporary attention, surface level, nothing deep. That's what it is to be well known. But how about being worth knowing? Worth knowing is being valuable. You're adding to someone's life, being consistent. You're faithful, and others can depend on you. You show up even when you do not feel like it. Teach, being worth knowing, you're learning from someone, you're teaching someone, you're leaving an impact on them. So let me ask you, chat, which one are you right now? Are you well known or are you worth knowing? Thank you for the Clover in the house. Type it in the chat. Are you well known or do you feel like you are worth knowing? Welcome in, the Nikki Spice. Thank you for joining. Now, I don't want you to type in the chat what you think you are, but what are you actually, well known or worth knowing? Hi, how are you doing? Okay, Big Mo said he's worth knowing. Okay, worth knowing. How about the rest of you, chat? Are you well known or worth knowing? How about you, Tina? Lucky Charms, you well known. Kim Cherry said, I'm well known. The Nikki Spice said, I'm well known. All right, all right. So to the rest of you who didn't type, which one do you want to be? If you're not sure if you're well known or worth known, which one do you want to be? Nikki said worth knowing, worth knowing. All right, all right. So let me tell y'all something, okay? Well known and worth known, okay? So let me tell you something. Anyone can be famous in a moment, but it takes character to be remembered. What truly defines a man is who you are when no one is looking. I'm going to say that again. What truly defines the character of a man is what you do when no one is looking. All right? So we're going to play a game. I'm going to give you a scenario, and you're going to tell me, is it fame or is it value? If you have a video, me too, I didn't want to be so cliche. Integrity, value, integrity. So you're going to type fame or value. What if you had a video and it went viral because it had nothing but drama, drama, drama? I've been watching this video about this woman chasing this man everywhere, to the beauty shop, to the store, to the movies, constantly singing to him. Drama, drama, drama. And it apparently has gone viral. So do you think it's fame or do you think it's value? It's fame. Nikki says fame. Okay. How about the rest of you? Drama sales. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if I was up here right now fighting, people wouldn't be passing through the room. They would be stopping in the room. Fame. So let me ask you this, because many of us do exactly this. Teaching a skill right on any platform, is that fame or is that value? Value. Kim Cherry says value. Mhm. Value. Okay, so most of you say value. How about being consistent, coming on these platforms, even when there's no views? Is that fame or is that value? A lot of, a lot not consistent. Someone keeps trying to come in, so I don't see the value. A lot not consistent, so I don't see the value. Value. Yeah, so I'm just bringing a lot of people aren't consistent. Yes, Kim Cherry, that's exactly the point. If you want to be valued, you have to be consistent. You have to, it's better to teach. Now, you can always throw in a little drama here and there, but you want people to come back for something, something that is full and not something that is empty. So we are going to talk about, we're going to go further. Absolutely. You do have to be consistent for sure. And that is one thing about being a part of this community, the Clover Rising Stars. It makes you be consistent. And so I'm very appreciative of being a part of the Clover Rising Stars because I know we're all waiting for our times and people are making arrangements in their schedules to show up. So you want to come and you want to give them value. Welcome in, Joe Bell. So I'm going to go further. We're going to talk about the breakdowns of the 4 M's. If you want to be worth knowing, you have to master what I call the 4 M's. So I'm going to give y'all a 4 M mini quiz. The first M is your mouth. It's what you say. Are you speaking life or are you speaking negativity? What do people feel after they hear you speak? Drop it in the chat. After you speak, would people say that you're speaking life or are you speaking negativity? You can put an L for life or N for negativity. Life. Pretty Bull says she's speaking live. Welcome back, Joe Bill. I like that. Pretty Bull. And you're also, I'll go further with that Pretty Bull. You're also allowing other people to speak life as you interview them and you give them the opportunity to speak life out of their mouth. So yes, definitely. How about the rest of you? Are you speaking life or are you speaking negativity? And thank you for the heart me. Ooh, thank you. I keep rejecting this and continue to try to come on. I often wonder that too about a lot of people. Yeah. And the reason why, welcome, thank you for the heart me, Joker. Thank you for the roses. So your mouth can build your brand or it can destroy your future. So that's why it's so important to make sure that when we are speaking, we're speaking life. Yes, we play around, we joke, but we want to make sure that we're speaking more life than we are joking or speaking negativity. Miss Kim Cherry says, I wonder often to if people are speaking life into people or negativity into people. Joe Bell said, I'm out, so I'll be back. Okay, all right, Joe Bell, no problem. So the second M I'm going to speak about is your mind. What you think? Are you thinking growth or are you thinking excuses? Because you cannot build a powerful life with a weak mindset. Our third M is going to be our mood. Now, our mood is our energy and definitely growth. Pretty Bull says. Now, our mood is our energy. Energy is contagious. So your mood affects your room and your income. So it affects your atmosphere and it can affect your pocketbook. So what is your mood? On the scale from 1 to 10, thank you for the icon. Welcome in, Dante is pressure. On a scale from 1 to 10, what is your mood today? Miss Lady Page asks us that often. What is your mood today? Do a check-in real quick. Drop in the chat, 1 to 10, what is your mood today? Thank you for the heart meet, Dante. 10 and a half. See, this is when I wish I had my celebratory sounds. Love 10 and a half. It depends on someone else is then I can let you know. It depends on someone else's is then I can. Okay, Kim Sherry, I understand what you're saying. Thank you for the go pops. Well, I guess the rest of y'all, what is y'all's mood? Are y'all hiding? I'm not seeing y'all type. What I want to say is people don't always remember everything you say, but they always remember how you made them feel. So remember how you making how yes, absolutely. Okay. Thank you for the gold pops. Thank you. Happy manifesting Monday. Yes. All right. And now the fourth M we're going to talk about is money. We're going to connect money with your habits. Okay. Are you learning how to make money or are you just spending it? How many of us are learning how to make money? So if you're making money, if you're learning how to make money, put it in. Pretty Bull say, I'm doing both. Or are you spending it? Put an S. Are you making money or are you spending it? Just spending it. I see you both. What about the rest of y'all? Are y'all making money? Y'all just spending. Kim Jerry said, I'm doing both. Okay. As long as we're making more than we spending, that's what counts, right? And this is one that I'm like, I always think about when I consider social media. Welcome in, Rosalind. If your habits don't make money, your future will struggle. I'm gonna say that again. If your habits do not make money, your future will struggle. So we need to make sure that the habits that we're choosing, yes, we can enjoy them, but we need to make sure that they're also making us some money. True statement, no lies told there. So let me ask you all, which M, I missed that chat. Which M do you feel you need to fix right now? Which M do you feel you need to fix right? Hi, Uncle Benno. Welcome in. I'm sorry I missed your message. Thank you for joining in. Drop it in the chat. Which one of the M's do you feel you need to work on right now? Your mouth, your mind, your mood, or your money? The M for me, M. Kim Chair said M. I need more money. Welcome in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the rose. Miss Lisa says money. You need to work on that money. I know. I know. I need to work on turning off these notifications when I come on live because I get tired of that. Go all the messages. I don't get no messages until I go live. Nobody is you on the road. Welcome back, Pretty Bull. All right, so we're gonna reflect. I'm gonna ask y'all some questions. All right. If your name came up in a room, what would people say? Everybody in there, I've never gotten this many requests to host. Like they're coming up one after another. Kim Cherish, they said, who's that girl? Okay, okay, that girl. right, girl. That's just Miss Pam Cherry. That's Miss Cherry over there. How about the rest of you? If your name came up in a room, what would people say? Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. That's because you're number 22 on the ELP. You can answer some of the people. You don't necessarily have to battle some people, just want to connect with you. Okay. Oh, I didn't even. Pretty good. Thank you. 22 on the ELP. That is clap worthy. Hello, Sandra. Welcome in. She has an adorable spirit. Miss Lisa said if her name came up in a room, they would say she has an adorable spirit. All right, all right. Miss Sandra, if your name came up in a room, what would people say? How about you, Miss Dante? Now, here's another one. Of course, no judgment anywhere. If your name came up in a room, would you be known for drama, or would you be known for growth? Dante said they would say, she is wonderful, beautiful woman with a beautiful spirit. Sandra said they say, here she comes. Here she come, right? Oh, all right. All right. I guess the rest of y'all know people wouldn't say anything when you walked in a room. What's up with that? What is up with that? Uh-oh, some comments were filtered. I don't know what people saying over there. Well, that's okay. So would you be known for drama or growth? If your name was put out, would you be known for drama or growth? All right. She said, I don't do mess. So not drama. So you be known for growth. And Sandra says growth. Pretty Bull said, oh, thank you. Pretty Bull says growth. Thank you for that, smokester. All right. I believe the people in my community will definitely be known. Welcome in, Pretty Mama, for growth, for sure. For growth. We have all been growing together because when we level up together. Thank you, Clover's in the house. So let me ask you this question. Would people recommend you or would people warn others about you? Would people recommend you? Thank you for the globus and the stars, both. I love it. I love it. I love it. Kim Cherry and Pretty Bull said people and Pretty Mama said both. They would be like, recommend me and warning, don't test her, okay? Don't even try it. Sandra said depends. And Dante says recommend hands down. That is wonderful. That is so wonderful. So if you have a well, it's probably gonna be too long to type, but I just want you to think about a time that you chose growth over attention. Let's think about it. Pretty boy, that warning sign. It'd be a warning sign. Just think about a time you chose growth over attention. And I just want you to reflect on how did it turn out when you decided, you know what, I'm gonna work. Someone is talking trash, but I'm gonna walk away because it's not even worth my time or my attention. So I'm gonna choose to grow. I'm gonna choose growth. Just think about a time that has happened because the more you walk away from situations like that or the more you choose growth, that's when you become worth knowing because people are always watching. even when you think people are not watching, people are always watching. It's just like being on this social media. You'll see people in your room. Maybe it'll say 5 people in your room. Maybe you'll see 5 people in your room. Well, the number says 7 or 8. People are passing by watching. People are watching to see how you're going to react. When someone says something that's not so nice in the chat, how are you going to react? I know, like, I've seen Lisa be so patient with people saying the craziest thing in the chat. And then people come back. People come back to her room because they've watched her. They've passed through. I remember there was a lady that said, I've been watching you for months. People watch you. They watch you choosing growth and they want what you have. So they stay tuned in and they come back because they want to watch. They want some of that what you have. Pretty Bull says, actually, this every day is an interview. Pretty Bull says, I choose growth every day because when you deal with a lot of different personalities and don't act like it, you have got to know it's definitely a growth. Pretty Mama says, I will be so kind that it confuses them. Mhm. And Miss Kim Cherry say, I concur. That happened to me several times, and I had to bite my tongue so many times. So yes, you have to always remain composed, composed and monotone anyway. Yep. hmm And Pretty Bull said, I'm speaking into the phone, so it's a bunch of. Girl, don't worry about it. I understand. Trust me. Don't worry about the typos. I get the gist of what you're saying. We have to choose growth. We have to, because like Lisa said, we're always on an interview. People are always watching and they come back if they see that you're growing and they want what you have. So has there ever been a time that you had to level up your mindset? Like maybe you were thinking about something totally different and then you thought about it again and said, you know what? A prime example could be being mad because you're late to work. You're late to work, and then you stop to think, you know what? Maybe there was something along the road that God didn't want me to run into. And so therefore I was late. Therefore I missed that accident. Therefore, you know, there was a reason. Think about a time that you had to level up your mindset to just bring clarity to yourself. Because we have to always consider things happen, and a lot of times things happen for a reason. And sometimes we'll never know that reason. I always use 9/11 as an example. I remember when there were so many people who said, "Oh, you know, I was late because I spilled coffee on my clothes, and I at the diner down the street from work as I was walking in, and I had to stop and go back home, and they were mad." And then what happened? 9/11 happened. And then they were so thankful that they weren't there when it happened. So when was a time that you had to level up your mindset? Just reflect on it. You can be free to share it if you want, but I just really want you to think about it because those are the things that we need to constantly grow from and change our mindset. Okay, I'm gonna bring some. Well, give me just a second. I'll put this spot again. I'm almost done. So when you are growing and changing your mindset, it builds trust, gives loyalty that you will see come. And when I say gifts, I don't mean of monetary, but just people um, giving you praise for something that maybe that you helped them through. And that's very important. And that's a way that you become worth knowing instead of just, well known. All right. Oh, it's almost, oh, I'm over my time. Okay, so just real quick before we leave this live, I want you all to set one goal for this week. I want you all to set one goal. Um, Welcome back. So that one goal can be from the 3 goals that you were working on last week. I don't know if anybody, I know some of you came in late. I don't know if y'all worked on those goals from last week, but I want you to just work on one goal this week. Find another stream of income. Okay, yes, that's a good goal. Find another stream of income. And I'm going to actually work on something that my community helped me realize. I'm going to work on keeping myself more busy about things, getting things done while I'm home alone. Um, I was home alone last week and it was a little bit hard on me. I'm still home alone, but I am excited to start writing things down to keep my mind busy and active and growing. So, last thing, drop it. Well, I'm gonna do an affirmation with you all before we go, but drop it in the chat if you're gonna choose value over fame. Are you gonna choose value over fame this week? No time for drama. I see you over there. And while y'all are typing that, I'm gonna do a quick affirmation, excuse me. Y'all value for sure. Okay. Y'all just repeat after me. Value. I see it. I am not chasing attention. I am becoming someone worth knowing. My value speaks louder than noise. My consistency builds my legacy. My consistency builds my legacy. I am disciplined. I am growing. And I am intentional. Doors open for me because of who I am. And not just because I just showed up. I choose purpose over popularity. And I will keep my mojo. So with that, this is the Real Mojo Show. I am so happy and elated that you all joined me today. I hope that you got something out of it. My community, I thank you so much. Kim Cherry says I'm growing. Doors have opened up for me because I'm that girl. I'm that girl. I hear you, Kim Cherry. You are that girl. You are. So thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you for liking. Thank you for showing up. If you need to go, feel free to drop. I will be around. I'm just going to end my my live streaming and